Behind the stellar arms, up and down the Cincinnati Reds rotation. And powered by heroes from the top to the bottom of the lineup. The Battling Redlegs sit atop the National League's Central Division and continue to hold their rivals on the outside looking in. Well, it's another picture-perfect weather night in downtown Cincinnati and a sellout crowd at Great American Ballpark. On this Saturday night, Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series, the Chicago Cubs in town to take on the first-place Cincinnati Reds. And hi again, everybody, alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio. Boy, that first-place thing, it never gets old, saying that nice little ring to it.
Never.
And how about Jay Bruce last night? What a night, batting in a leadoff spot for the first time since September of 2008.
Well, it was pretty neat. Before the ball game, everybody was questioning the move of Dusty Baker, putting a left-hander at the top of the lineup facing Gorzolani. But of course, all 3 home runs came off of left-handed pitching. Watching Jay Bruce last night was almost like watching a recording. It seemed like after the first at bat, he had seen 10 pitches in that at bat and seen every breaking ball, every fastball that Gorzolani had, and it seemed to just kind of kick him off for the rest of the ball game. Every pitch that he seemed to make contact with from that point on, well, it landed in the moon deck in right field. Whether it was off of Gorzolani or the last home run, which came off of Scott Main, they were all pitches that were out over the plate, usually pitches that would get a left-hander out, but he was locked in.
So now, would it make sense tonight, after you draw a walk and hit 3 home runs, that you bat leadoff again?
Sure. Well, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know how that saying goes.
Very well put. And Jay Bruce is leading off again and playing right field tonight. The Reds ace this entire year has been Bronson Arroyo. He's on the mound tonight. We'll talk more about him when we come back.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Standing room only crowd here tonight at Great American Ballpark, and our telecast of Reds baseball tonight and every night on Fox Sports Ohio, presented in beautiful high-definition television courtesy of H.H. Gregg. The weather has been simply spectacular. What about the rest of tonight? Let's check in with our good friend Jeff Creek.
Another fantastic night for baseball, a dry, comfortable air mass and temperatures that are just perfect for this time of the year. 85 by that first pitch, 78 by the seventh inning, cooling down by the final out. The temperature cooling down, but the Reds, they're still hot.
Jeff, you're not lying about that. The hottest pitcher in their rotation right now, Cowboy, is Bronson Arroyo.
Well, you saw that breaking ball there. That's what most people look for from Arroyo. How does he set it up? Well, you just saw that pitch go right by Troy Gloss, looking for the breaking ball. The sinker in there to Marlon Byrd. And again, when you're looking for the breaking ball and he's coming with the fastball, you're in big trouble. A lot of breaking balls for strikes for Bronson Arroyo. There's your numbers for the last 5 starts out, and they're awfully good. And against the Cubs, the team he's pitching against tonight, well, it's not much worse than that. Matter of fact, he's 5-0 in his last 6 starts against the Cubs.
Well, offensively, those hits just keep on coming. Reds batters leading the National League in hitting, runs, hits, total bases, home runs, curtain calls as well. Ohio brought to you in part by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks 33 straight years. By Just for Men, for mustache and beard, keep your edge. And by Skyline Chili, whenever you're feeling good and hungry, it's Skyline time. Beautiful aerial pictures of Great American Ballpark. The Cubs starting lineup presented by Cincinnati Bell. Blake DeWitt, Starlin Castro, Marlon Byrd at the top. Aramis Ramirez, Xavier Nady, Tyler Colvin in the middle. Kosuke Fukudome, his first start in the series in right. The same for Coy Hill behind the plate. Randy Wells on the mound. Bronson Arroyo, a winner and durable.
You look back to Bronson Arroyo, not only has he won 4 of his last 5 starts, he's 5-0 against his last 6 starts against the Cubs, but where he makes his money is in his durability, as you just said, Tom.
Well, Arroyo to face Blake DeWitt, ball 1. This game is underway. Arroyo has been simply sensational this year as well against Chicago. He has pitched 13 innings, allowed 7 hits, and not surrendered a single run. and should get the first batter of the night, Blake DeWitt, on the pop fly to Paul Janisch.
Since Arroyo was brought to the Reds prior to the 2006 season, he's first in the National League, first in the big leagues really, with 162 starts and 1,046 innings. So you talk about durability, nobody else matches that.
One away for the rookie shortstop, Starlin Castro. A .311 batter, 3 home runs, 38 batted in. He looks at a strike. Greg Gibson behind the plate tonight. Brian Knight over at first. Sam Holbrook at second. And Scott Berry rounds out the judiciary down at third. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Castro. And a breaking ball fouled away, and Arroyo ahead 0-2. See you later. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Mr. Castro. Let's take a look at the Reds defensively, presented by Ford. The same group we saw last night, with the exception of behind the plate. Gomes, Stubbs, Bruce in the outfield. Roland, Janisch, Valleca for the injured Phillips, and Votto in the infield, and Hannigan in place of Hernandez.
And every time that you see Arroyo on the mound, for the most part, you're going to see Hannigan behind the plate. And you've heard us talk about the duo of Hernandez and Hannigan. They are as good offensively and defensively as any single catcher that there is out there.
0-1 to Marlon Byrd, the center fielder, a National League All-Star this year, an All-Star for the first time in his career. .305 hitter, 11 home runs, has 55 runs batted in. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Reds again in beginning play here tonight with a 4-game lead over St. Louis in the National League Central. The Cardinals underway in Game 3 of the 4-game weekend series against the Nationals in D.C. They split the first 2. Cardinals winning last night after really a much-needed win for St. Louis last night after that crushing defeat they had the night before in 13 innings.
Well, I think there were a lot of folks that thought this club, the Reds, were going to fall on their face after they were swept here by the Cardinals, especially knowing that they had to go out west for 9-10 games.
That is a fair ball. That ball came back. Are they saying, oh boy? And Hannigan taking a look at the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, as if to say, you got to be kidding.
The ball looked like it started foul, and then it's on the line. That's a fair ball. That's a fair ball. Ball starts out foul, and that's exactly why Hannigan waited to pick it up. When it rolled back fair, it looked like he blocked off the home plate umpire with his body.
So another chance for Marlon Byrd on a 1-2 count, and a breaking ball away evens the count. Arroyo going after win number 15 of this season. What an outstanding year he has had. His MO in past years was a very slow start, then would come on strong the second half. Outside of a start here and a start there early in the year, he has been a model of consistency from a positive standpoint all year long.
Every team has to have a horse if you want to get to the finish line and be competitive and have a chance to play for the brass ring. And you heard us talking about the statistics with Bronson Arroyo, and first place, that's a horse. And that's what he wants to do every year. His goal is to go out and make 35 starts and pitch 200+ innings. And he pretty much does that every year.
He won 14 with Boston in 05, 14 with Cincinnati in 06, has won 15 in each of the last 2 years, and is going after win number 15 here in the final days of August in 2010. So more than a good chance, when all is said and done, for this to be the best season in Bronson Arroyo's very good major league career. And this ought to take care of the Cubbies in 1-2-3 fashion. It does. Reds are coming up. To lead it off in right, Chris Valleca at second, Joey Votto at first. Scott Rowland, the cleanup hitter at third. Johnny in left field. Ryan Hannigan catching. A ladder third of Drew Stubbs, Paul Giannis, Bronson Arroyo. Against a guy who every time he pitches against the Reds, he looks like one of the top 5 right-handers in the entire National League. But Randy Wells is 5-12 with an ERA of over 4.5 this year. Here's Jay Bruce. Ball 1.
Well, he does pitch well against the Reds. He's 3-1 lifetime against Cincinnati with a 2.58 ERA, and he's 1-1 this year with a 2.45.
Went 7 2/3 to beat him back on that July 4th weekend. That Saturday was the 3rd of July, the only game Chicago won in the 4-game series. Allowed 5 hits and a run. And then came back the last time the Reds were in when they swept the Cubbies. But he threw the ball very well. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs that day. 3-0 to Jay Bruce. 3 home runs in the game here last night. And a 4-pitch walk to begin this one.
Well, that is very uncharacteristic of Randy Wells, and that's one of the reasons he's pitched so well against the Reds in his career, is throwing strikes early in the ball game, getting the Reds on that swing pattern early, and they hit a lot of ground balls because he's a sinker ball pitcher.
But with Jay Bruce hitting 3 home runs last night, Johnny Cueto going 8 innings of 5-hit, 1-run baseball. Very little talk about the night turned in by the rookie second baseman Chris Valleca. He looks at ball 1. Valleca, his first time up last night, had his first major league double. Shot one into right center field and scored a run on a single by Votto. And then in the 5th inning, his first major league home run to the seats in left center field. Now, after Bruce drew a walk to lead off the game here last night, the Reds tried to play hit and run with a combination of Bruce and Valleca. Valleca swung and missed at a pitch up around his eyes, and Bruce was easily thrown out. Do they go back to that well one more time tonight? It might be a double play. The throw pulls Nady off the bag. Good, clean, hard slide to break it up out there by a big, powerful young man, Jay Bruce. When he hits you, you know it. Chicago defensively presented by Ford. They'll go with Bird in center, flanked by Colvin in left, Fukudome to start in right. Ramirez and Nady on the corners. Again, Castro and DeWitt up the middle. Wells and Coy Hill the batter.
The reason for the hit and run last night was so you could have this guy at the plate with somebody on base.
And that somebody, and that guy is Joey Votto. His .327 batting average, tops in the National League, and his highest batting average since the 3rd game of the year. He was hitting .417 after the first 2 games against St. Louis. Low 2-0.
And every time he hits a home run, it's a new career high. And I guess when you've got a guy that's as hot as Votto has been, you're trying to stay out of the double play early. You get the runner thrown out last night, but then without a bad throw there, you get a double play.
They're going to go to second to get the out there. The throw to first is in time, and that's a double play. And of 1 no score at Great American Ballpark. Elk and Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. We talked about Baleka's night last night. Said it's everything I've dreamed about. And we thought as much even during the game last night when he got back to the dugout after hitting that home run. And finally a smile was able to break through.
I think for Chris Baleka, after having that tough year last year, it's really brought him into a place where he doesn't take anything for granted anymore. Every at-bat is something special, and it's taught him to play the game hard every single day and not worry about the accolades and everything else that goes with it.
No score. Cubs bat in the second inning after being retired in order in the first, and a breaking ball hammered foul out of play by Aramis Ramirez. Talked about Ramirez, how hot he was coming into this series last night, but Johnny Cueto really did a number on him, got him on 3 fly balls to right, and LeCure got him on a ground ball to third in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he was sitting on that breaking ball there. Not that one.
Just a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aramis Ramirez.
You get a good hitter like Ramirez at the plate, and he will guess on a pitch or sit on the pitch, and he has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark if he guesses right. He hit that first ball pretty well down the left field line. He was just a tad early.
Great career numbers for Ramirez. 105 RBIs in 147 games. This one on the ground to Baleka, and that's out number 1 in the Chicago second inning. The longtime Reds fans can take advantage. The next Tri-State Centers for Sight Senior Day special. That'll be on Tuesday, August 31st. Reds fans 60 and older may purchase non-premium tickets at half price in advance of game day only. That'll be the Reds and the Brewers in a 7:10 start. 513-381-REDS, the number to call, or go to Reds.com. Tickets available, plenty of them, for that Milwaukee series, which begins on Monday night. That'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. The Reds will travel to St. Louis on Thursday and take on the Cardinals at Busch Stadium next Friday night in the first of 3. Now Xavier Nady, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chicago had 6 hits against a duo of Cueto and LeCure last night. In fact, all 6 hits were against Cueto, and Nady had a third of them.
Well, he's been the odd man out all year long, and a guy that was very popular in the free agency going into last year's offseason. But it just seems, Tom, that every time he plays for somebody, he's going to hit well, but he can't get a whole year in. He's either hurt, there's something that ends up where he can't play the whole time, so you can't count on him to be an everyday player.
There's very little debate. The tools are all there to be a very, very good and highly productive everyday player. But as you mentioned, you can't get out there for 140, 145 at the minimum.
Right. You can't count on it.
That ball blistered into left center field, and that baby is out of here. 1-0 Chicago.
You'll look back at the end of this season and you'll watch Xavier Nady. He'll have decent numbers as far as batting average goes. Arroyo throwing a changeup there, and he just left it over the heart of the plate. Nady's got good power. He's always been able to hit the ball with consistency when he's been in the lineup. But the if and when has always been the big question.
Second career home run for Nady against Bronson Arroyo. And here's Tyler Colvin. Rolls over it towards Votto. The underhand flip to Arroyo just in time. Arroyo had to find the bag after making the catch. And it was a low flip from Joey Votto.
Watch this pitch from Bronson Arroyo. It's a changeup, and you can see the setup in the middle of the plate. That pitch earlier to Marlon Byrd was a pitch that he swung right over the top of, but that pitch is supposed to hit on the front part of the plate, not on the back part of the plate. It's not supposed to even get to the mitt, and that ball stayed over the heart of the plate, and that's why Nady was able to hit it out of the ballpark.
Now Kosuke Fukudome in the air, deep right center field. Back to the wall, Bruce. He got it. What a play by Jay Bruce. Timed it perfectly. Not sure it would have gotten out of here, but at the very minimum, it was at least a 2-base hit. It might have been out of here. A great play by Bruce. 1-0 Chicago. Brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. The first career 3-home run game for Jay Bruce. And you get a feeling, Cowboy, it won't be the only one.
Well, you would like to believe that Jay Bruce will continue to get better and better as time goes on. And that's really all he talked about last night. He talked about getting better in every phase of his game. And you can see that phase of his game, he's got it taken care of. He's one of the best right fielders, if not the best, as far as the National League goes right now. That is a highly athletic play.
Scotty Rowland to lead things off in the Reds' second inning, trailing 1-0 on the home run by Xavier Nady in the top of the inning. Got to remember, Jay Bruce turned 23 years old. 23. 3 days prior to opening day. 23.
And now to compare that age-wise, Mike Leake is 22 and didn't play a day in the minor leagues.
Jay Bruce has 59 career home runs. And he is still, not until the first week of April will he turn 24.
Just a baby.
Yep. Two and one to Scott Rowland. Johnny Gomes to follow, and then Ryan Hannigan. And that one fouled off out of play. It'll even the count on Rowland at 2 balls and 2 strikes. St. Louis an early 3-0 lead in the second inning at Washington. Of course, all of us are paying so much attention not only to what the Reds do, obviously, but also what St. Louis is up to. And at least around these parts, not a lot of talk about that wild card race, but man, oh man, is that heating up in the National League. Here's a check swing and a miss, and Roland gone to begin the bottom of the second inning.
It is special, man. It's you know what? It's even more special in the pennant race. You know, it's awesome. This is the most fun of playing baseball that I've ever had, and you know, I'm just glad I can help the team because you know what? I feel like that I let them down a little bit early in the year, and to come back and start helping these guys day in day out. They picked me up, huge early, and it's just good to help them, and it's good to win.
That is our Geico Direct quote from Jay Bruce, being interviewed by our very own Jeff McCorrow following the ball game and the victory here last night.
Tommy, you were talking about the wild card and how much all of that is heating up throughout baseball. And with Jay talking about postseason aspirations, this club could very well, if they don't win the division, could very well be in that hunt as well.
Well, right now, San Francisco trails Philadelphia by a half game in the wild card. The Cardinals are 1 game back. And earlier today, Philadelphia handed San Diego a 3-1 loss. After Philadelphia won the opening game in extra innings of that series out at Petco Park last night. So officially, Philadelphia now 1 better than the Giants after the Phillies win today, and a game and a half better than the Cardinals. 2-2 on Johnny Gomes. And really, you can't count out yet Colorado and Los Angeles.
Well, Colorado is known for playing hot baseball when it comes to September, and they are back on a roll again.
That ball in the air to left field, and it'll stay shy of the track for Tyler Coleman there. 2 outs.
Like Johnny Gomes got that ball pretty good. Must have hit it down the bat just a bit because of the sinking fastball from Randy Wells.
So 2 up, 2 down for Ryan Hannigan.
Got it on the end of the bat instead of down the bat off the end. I knew that he hit it pretty good, at least timing wise, but if you don't hit it on that sweet spot, that baby doesn't jump like it normally does.
Ryan Hannigan, a .282 batter, 4 home runs, 32 batted in. Ramon Hernandez has been so hot that the starts recently for Ryan Hannigan have been infrequent.
And for a while there, until Hannigan got hurt, he was the one that seemingly was getting the 3rd out of the 5th day of starts.
Yep.
And now we get to this part of the season, and it's been Hernandez.
And it might change again.
But all we know is their combined numbers have been phenomenal.
Well, Hannigan, we mentioned, a .282 batter, 4 home runs, 32 knocked in. Hernandez, an even .300 batter, 6 homers, 41 runs batted in. You're getting 70-plus RBIs out of your catchers. And here we are, still a handful of days left in the month of August.
That's a big.
That's doing it, man. Because you got to figure the 2 of them are going to knock in 15 to 20 combined in the month of September and the first few days of October.
Well, they're just, when you allow a catcher to keep his legs fresh, that's what they hit with in the months of August and September.
You know, you look around baseball at the catcher's position and looking at RBIs. The Atlanta Braves have 80 RBIs, and the overwhelming majority of those are from All-Star Brian McCann. The 78 RBIs, if you throw in 6 from Corky Miller, by Reds catchers, the second most in Major League Baseball to Atlanta. I mean, that's more than the Boston Red Sox, the Minnesota Twins, Colorado, the Yankees. And there are a lot of big-name guys on some of those clubs that are getting paid a pile of money to play every day.
And not only that, I don't care how good they are, when you get to September, they're tired. When you catch 140 ball games in a season, you're tired. And you've got 2 guys now that have been able to split those games. That's kept Hannigan fresh, and it's kept Hernandez fresh.
You know, even though he didn't play a whole lot, Corky Miller really did a nice job for this team when he was here.
He's done a great job every time he's had a chance to come to the big leagues with the Reds. Both last year and this year. I think he was a big spark in the maturation process of some of these younger pitchers in the last part of last year.
Well put. Soft liner that'll fall over the head of Blake DeWitt. A 2-out single by Hannigan, the Reds' first hit of the game.
Looks like a sinker that gets up a little bit to Hannigan. Stays on the inside part of the plate, and with 2 strikes, Hannigan really trying to inside out anything, and that's exactly how he gets the ball the other way. Watch his hands come inside the ball. He really pulls in the elbow right there. That's what makes the difference. You can see that elbow riding the rib cage, and that allows him to get the bat head inside the baseball and drive it the other way.
So now Drew Stubbs, 15 home runs, 59 batted in. Stubbs had a good game last night. Again, just another example of, after the heroics of Bruce, Cueto, Valleca to a lesser extent, Stubbs was on base 3 times, had 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored.
There are a lot of young players that provide the energy for every championship ball club. You can look at them up and down, regardless of whether it was 30 years ago or whether it happened last year. Young guys really provide energy. The guys like Stubbs, the guys like Bruce and Phillips.
We had a pitch to hit right there.
And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that you want to pull your hair out about. But that's, if you don't let them play and you don't put them out there and let them make those mistakes, then they'll never get better. It's kind of like raising kids. You can't hold their hands forever.
Although you'd sure like to.
Yeah.
See, why you got to do that to me? Why you get me thinking about my kids getting too old? They're little guys. I can hold their hands every day and enjoy every second.
You know what I mean? Better enjoy it now. They ain't gonna want to hold Daddy's hand.
Oh, they better.
You better start talking to them.
Pulled foul. They better be holding Daddy's hand.
Give them a couple of years. The only thing you'll get is a text message for.
No.
Text message. Dad, love you. I need money.
Boy, you're a cold guy. You're a cold guy.
You want me to show you?
Very cold guy.
Let me show you.
No, I don't want to see it.
For my older kids. Love you. I need money. Okay.
I was in a really good mood.
Sorry, buddy. I'll hold your hand. Because we're going to be here for a while.
2-2 to count on Drew Stubbs. Another pitch that he'd like to have back. It's 2 of them now in this at bat.
Well, the thing about Randy Wells that really keeps him in a ball game is his ability to have movement on the ball the last 2 feet as the ball gets to the plate. And for a sinker ball pitcher, that's what he has to rely on. His breaking ball is not that great, but he's got a good sinking fastball. And if you keep it down, you can be successful.
That went down and away, 3-2. So now with 2 away, Ryan Hannigan will get an early start on his payoff pitch to Drew Stubbs. Reds are down 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We're glad that you've made us a part of your night tonight on this Saturday night from Cincinnati. The Reds leading by 4 games over St. Louis in the National League Central Division going into play tonight. Payoff pitch. Struck him out, inning over. End of 2, 1-0 Chicago.
Hal McCoy. Plus, get the latest from Bengals camp on FoxSportsOhio.com. Presented by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO and SafeAuto.com. Bronson Arroyo finishing up his warm-up tosses. And he'll face Coy Hill, the pitcher Randy Wells, and then Blake DeWitt. 8-9-1. Coy Hill comes into the ball game hitting .200, a switch hitting catcher. The majority of times when Randy Wells is on the mound, Coy Hill, that's his time behind the plate. Takes a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes.
So far, the home run by Nady, the difference in this game. And there's a breaking ball off the outside edge. 2-0 now to Coy Hill. Reds and Cubs will meet for the final time this season tomorrow afternoon. And foe will turn friend once the Cubs get out of town. The Cubs have 6 more games remaining this year against the St. Louis Cardinals. And the last 3 series, those 2 teams have played against one another. The Cubs have won 2 out of 3 in a series.
Help us. Help us.
Hey, ain't too proud to beg.
Aretha Franklin, 1-0.
That one just dumped through the hole into left field, a base hit by Hill.
And you ask yourself, what was Arroyo doing there facing Coy Hill? He throws him 3 consecutive off-speed pitches outside that were outside of the strike zone. And then a guy that's batting .200 gets a hit off of him. It just happens that way with Arroyo sometimes.
Randy Wells has been a very good bunter this year, has 7 sacrifices. Only 7 hits and 41 at bats. And he rolls it out there nicely. Votto flips it to the covering Valleca and give Wells his 8th sacrifice. Hill now in scoring position with 1 out.
I think sometimes Bronson Arroyo, well, not sometimes, almost all the time, he works off of the aggression of the hitter that's at home plate. And when they don't swing the bat, it makes it difficult for him to judge what pitch he wants to throw next. And Coy Hill was just standing there like a statue.
Blake DeWitt popped up to Paul Giannis in short left field leading off the game. He has Coy Hill out at second base with 1 away, and Chicago leading 1-0 here in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball low and outside. So the home run by Nady, the first run allowed by Arroyo this season in 3 starts against Chicago.
Probably the first time Nady's played in any of the games that Arroyo has pitched.
You're probably right. At last outing that Arroyo had to win the series on that Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. That was career win number 100 for Bronson Arroyo. But what a game he pitched. 7 innings, allowed 2 runs, didn't walk a batter. Swing and a miss. He left with a 3-2 lead, and the Reds wound up tacking on a couple of more in a 5-2 win. That was a Joey Votto at bat in the top of the 9th inning in that game against Jonathan Broxton to tack on those 2 more runs. One and 2 on DeWitt, who came over in the Ted Lilly deal from the Dodgers. And again, Arroyo getting him on a fly ball to the opposite field, and Johnny Gomes is there for the 2nd out of the inning.
Almost the identical type of pitching the first go round. Gets ahead in the count with the off-speed stuffs, and then elevates the fastball up and in to DeWitt, and he can't lay off of it.
So one more out to go with Coy Hill out at second base here in the third inning.
This is the guy you want to get out, especially with Marlon Byrd standing on deck.
Fastball just off the inside corner to Starlin Castro. The sellout crowd tonight at Great American Ballpark, looking for something to get excited about. 2-0.
Arroyo may be missing, but he's not missing by much. There's 2 pitches. Fastball on the first pitch and a changeup on the second pitch, both inside. They didn't miss by more than 6 inches combined.
Breaking ball in the air to Jay Bruce. He's there, inning over. So a leadoff single by Coy Hill. He's stranded at second. Reds come to bat last of the third, trailing 1-0. Reds trail 1-0. They come to bat in the third inning. Our AT&T trivia question tonight: who are the only 2 players in Reds history to hit a home run in 4 consecutive at-bats? We'll give you a little while to think about that. And I would imagine that that could be over the course of 2 games or more. But 4 consecutive at-bats. Oh, and 1 to Paul Giannis. She'll be followed by Bronson Arroyo and then Jay Bruce against Randy Wells. And here's Wells working the Reds again. Boy, it's hard to believe. You and I were talking before the game. Wells had an outstanding rookie year. I mean, he was one of the best rookie pitchers in either league last season. But this year, it's just been a rough go, except against the Reds. We talked about how, you know, you turn on the highlights in a game he'll start against Houston or a game he'll start against Milwaukee or wherever it may be. You know, and he's getting taken out of the game in the second or third inning and giving up 7 runs, 6 runs.
Well, he's lost 5 in a row coming into tonight.
A couple of those games, however, he's thrown the ball pretty well. 2 starts ago, 7 innings, allowed 1 run against San Diego, got beat 1-0. The game against the Reds that he got hung with a loss on August 7th, 7 innings, 3 runs. But look at those numbers in his career against Cincinnati. Very, very good. 0-2 on Arroyo. And every position player, every pitcher, has one of those teams.
You got it. That they do well against, and they feel comfortable pitching against.
Again to Aramis Ramirez, and that's out number 2.
And a lot of times, Tom, for a pitcher that is sinker ball pitcher and he's aggressive, you get an opponent that's aggressive, they're swinging at those sinking fastballs and hitting them into the ground, you're going to get a lot of first, second pitch outs. And that's what this guy does against the Reds.
So now Jay Bruce, he walked his first time up. They're replaying the final home run that Bruce hit of the 3 he had in the game last night, giving him 59 of them in his career. We talked about Bruce, who just turned 23 years old a couple of days before opening day. And only one player in the game has more career home runs than Jay Bruce, who's under 24 years old. And that's Justin Upton of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He has one more. Broken bat floater. This will be a base hit. It was not caught by Fukudome. Emphatically, the second base umpire, Sam Holbrook, went out there. He was all over the call and emphatically said the ball was trapped on the ground by Fukudome. And now Mike Quaddy, who took over for Lou Piniella as manager at the beginning of this road trip on Monday, will come out and argue the call. It looked like a good call.
Well, that's tough to tell. It looked like it hit the ground at that point. The thing about it is, even if he had his web down, which he did, and the ball hits the ground and the glove at the same time, it's still a hit.
So it'll be a 2-out single by Jay Bruce, and here comes Valleca, who bounced into a fielder's choice on a ground ball to the shortstop his first time up. It was on Tuesday night in San Francisco where Valleca made his major league debut, got his first career hit. That was a single off Santiago Casilla. Had 2 hits in his first start here last night. Lined at Ramirez, and that will retire the side. A hit, a man left. We played 3, and the Cubs have a 1-0 lead. Ohio, brought to you in part by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers, where you can register to win a Tundra at Great American Ballpark. By JTM. Food, family fun, JTM. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by GMC, we are professional grade. Well, beautiful pictures tonight. A look down on sold-out Great American Ballpark. in downtown Cincinnati along the banks of the Ohio River on the southern tip of downtown Cincinnati and the southern tip of the great state of Ohio. Marlon Byrd, the batter, and it's in there for a strike. Well, we have a very special guest with us here tonight, and a young man and his family that many of you may remember last year, our 4th of July telecast, and we certainly take great pride and don't mind pounding our chest here on Fox Sports Ohio and on Fox Sports period, the network level, about the commitment to the military. 4th of July weekend this year, we were joined by a young man stationed over in Iraq. And of course, last year was just a very memorable 4th of July. See if you remember this from last season. Your mom, Carol, your dad, Tom, are with us here in the broadcast booth. They are on television right now with you theoretically standing right next to him. Mom and Dad, welcome.
Thank you.
To describe right now how you're feeling to actually see him.
It's just overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Thank you, Fox News, Fox Sports, and the Reds. This is awesome.
When's the last time you saw Ben?
In March.
When he was deployed to Iraq.
That's correct.
And how much communication have you had with him since?
Just a few times that we spoke with him. Not much.
What are you thinking, Dad?
I'm just overwhelmed.
Catch your breath.
Yeah, Ben, the field looks great.
Well, it is a pleasure to be joined 1 year later, a little longer than a year later, by Ben Fiala and his mom and dad, Tom and Carol. And boy, it's so great to see you guys. Man, you look great. Hey, you lost some weight, or what's going on?
Just a little, yeah, thank you.
How much you lost? What do you mean you thought? I stand up, but I got a broken leg right now, so forgive me. I'm sorry. I just can't get up. But how much weight have you lost?
I think it's the Iraqi cameras. They're not very good, and they put in a little weight on the neck.
Oh, really?
But, yeah.
You look 5 years younger and 25 pounds lighter.
I feel the same, too.
An endorsement for the military if there ever was one, right?
Exactly.
It is great to see you. Now, you're still active, correct?
Yes, correct.
So what are you doing home? How long have you been back?
I got back in early March, and so right now I'm stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I've been down there, and I'll be down there till next June. So I'm working up in our battalion operations shop, and we jump about twice a month. I'm also a paratrooper, so.
Really? So how's
the Diamond Club so far today?
The Diamond Club is very nice. I think the last time I was at a Reds game, I paid $9 for a seat somewhere up there. Right. So
the players look about this.
Yeah, it's nice to actually see the game.
Now, to bring everybody up to date, Ben, last year we had him on from Camp Liberty in Iraq. His mom and dad, Carol and Tom, were here with us that night. You didn't know that they were going to be joining us in the booth when we had you on TV. Their family is from Grove City, Ohio. For those of you that don't know, when you go up 71, you'll see the exit south before you get to Columbus, Ohio, is Grove City. And Mom and Dad, how are you guys? Come on up here, Tom, Carol. How you all doing now?
Real well. Good seeing you again.
It's great seeing you again. You must be still so proud. And,
yes,
it must
we are.
Talk about, speaking for families, their children in the military. When you do get this kind of time, even though he's in North Carolina right now, to have this kind of time, anytime, with your son coming home for a while.
Oh, it's a wonderful time to have him home, and and when they're away, the United States Army has a good way of keeping us connected as father and son, mother and son. Excellent job.
Stay right here. We want to visit with you guys. It's so great to see you. Stick around for a minute. We're back with the Fialas in a moment. Arroyo fans aside in the top of the 4th inning. Reds come to bat down 1-0 against Randy Wells with the heart of the order coming up. The Fiala's joining us from Grove City, Ohio, after we had Ben on the air from Camp Liberty, Iraq, during our 4th of July celebration and celebrating the unbelievable commitment to our country and preserving freedom by all of those in the armed forces. How's everybody doing over there? Morale good, by and large, of the crew that you're around on a daily basis?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I was over there, one of the things that really, I guess, struck me was how much effort everyone back home really puts into, you know, trying to make you feel at home.
You feeling at home after a Votto home run?
Absolutely.
Come on, just call him. Run, call him.
Home run, Joey Votto.
That baby. There you go. He's been doing that a lot this year.
Yeah, I noticed.
Last year when you were on the tube, the team was a little different than it is right now.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
You're a hardcore fan, right?
Yeah.
Big-time Reds fan.
Big-time Reds fan.
So it's a 1-1 game.
Hanging breaking ball right in the heart of the plate. Wow. He has a tendency to do something special with those pitches.
All right, so you were saying about the morale. You were talking about.
Yeah, like I was saying, I really noticed how much effort everyone put into back home, you know, trying to make you feel comfortable as best you could over there. You know, you think you're going to go over there and you're going to be, you know, kind of in Spartan conditions, but I mean, you know, you get all the, I guess, underwear and socks, cookies you could ever want in the mail. I know around Christmas time, you know, I thought I was going to die like sugar poisoning or something because it was just ridiculous. Had to stop, you know. But yeah, morale's high, and like I said, a lot of that's due to the fact that everyone back home really, you know, regardless of what they think about the war, puts a lot of effort to make you feel comfortable.
That's great. It's good to hear. Mom, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
You doing okay?
Yes, I'm glad to have Ben back.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, very much so. I appreciate, you know, the service over there, having a son who's been gone, and I know a lot of people that do have sons and daughters, and they're just waiting for the time that they can come back.
Let me ask you, I mean, I got to believe there's something like this set up, but I don't know, so forgive me. But when you have a child that goes into the military, I got to believe there's probably some kind of group that you'll have a chance to meet people and talk to other moms or other dads about some of the things you'll think about and go through.
Yes. Now, Ben went to West Point, so there's the West Point Parents Club, and then for the grads and ones that deploy, they have a lot of information that we can go to, get encouragement, find out, you know, how to get in contact with them, send things, like they said. So, yes, there's a lot of support there.
Are you scared for him all the time?
No, I just pray for him a lot.
There you go. Can you follow the Reds at all over there?
Yeah, through the internet. And sometimes, you know, you're lucky and they'll be on the Armed Forces Network. They'll have a game. So, you know, anytime those will come on. The only problem is you have to wake up at like 3 in the morning to catch them. So,
what about communication?
You know who would never watch a Reds game if he had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Who's that?
Yeah.
What about communication with your parents? Is it hard, or is it just letters, or?
You know, internet's pretty prevalent over there now. You know, it's been built up enough that, you know, you have pretty good access to that. And like I said, you know, the USO and other organizations really go out of the way to make sure that, you know, if you want to communicate back home, you have an opportunity.
That's good. That's good. Because, you know, Mama's worried. we won't tell that dads do, but we know what they do.
There's a little saying in the military: "No news is good news."
There you go.
I believe
there you go.
I believe that. Absolutely. It's just so nice to finally. We obviously met your mom and dad last year, but it's so nice to see you and here in. How long are you in Ohio?
Just through the weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you're spending some of your time up here with. You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, she's actually back here. So.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're sitting next to Brantley, and you got a girlfriend.
I know.
Let her come on in here. Would you like to introduce her? Now, what's her name?
This is Jessie.
Hi, Jessie. Nice to see you.
You.
Nice to see you. Are you from Grove City as well?
No, I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Are you really? Okay. We have a lot of family down there, Midlothian, if you know where that area is. Yeah. Very, very nice. Virginia girl, Southern girl.
I know.
That's what I'm talking about.
So she's not all that far from North Carolina.
No, it's like 3 hours. So.
Nice. But it sure is nice seeing you all.
think.
Are you guys following the Reds pretty hardcore, Tom and Carol? Are you following the Reds and the season they're having?
Well, I remember following the Reds when I went to University of Kentucky. I had a roommate from Cincinnati. They won the World Series that year, and the whole college dorm left and went downtown. I thought, man, these guys are serious about fans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You better believe that. Well, look, we're going to let you guys go down. Fox Sports Ohio was kind enough to make sure that you all could, come down, and then we're honored that you took the time to come up and join us. I know you're sitting down in the Diamond Club seats. It's not a bad setup down there.
Outstanding.
Hey, all you can eat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Solid. Hey, you stay here. I'll leave.
You're trained. All right, that's fine.
I mean, a man in the military is allowed to have a beer every now and again.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right. God bless
Can
you,
I
buddy.
say one thing?
Of course you can.
Hi, Darcy and cousin Kayla. Thank you for coming too.
There you go.
Hi, Megan.
Good. You're going to say whatever you want. Dad, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I want to say hi to our associate pastor, Tom Wickersham. He's a very, very serious Reds fan from Centerville, Indiana.
Very, very nice. Well, hi to everybody they just said, and thanks so much for coming up. And God bless you, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much.
Absolutely. When if you're heading back over?
It'll be a while.
Okay,
I got some
good.
time.
Enjoy the States here. All right. Very nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
And safe travel. Great seeing you all. Take care. Godspeed ahead. All the best. So kind of the Fialas to come up and see you.
Good to meet you. Have a great night. See you guys.
Johnny Gomes in the air, straight away center field. And Marlon Byrd makes a catch. Scott Rowland bluffs a tag. And that's out number one here in the inning after the Votto home run. And Rowland reaching base, and he stands there with one out in the inning after the walk to Scott. Well, what nice people.
No kidding.
Good-looking kid.
Brought us some good luck. Walks in and Votto hits a home run. How about that?
How about that is right. It got me confused a second there when we were replaying last year's 4th of July and all of a sudden saw Mike Owings pitching the Cardinals.
I know.
It's like a time warp.
It's amazing. He was looking and just talking about how much better the team is now compared to that point of last year.
Oh, and by the way, while the Fialas were up here chatting with us, and we certainly hope all of you enjoyed it. I know we did very, very much. The Washington Nationals now have a 5-3 lead over the Cardinals. So we take a look at the National League Central Division standings presented by Honda. A 4-game spread. And Washington, who fell behind after a half inning, 3-0. 5 runs off the former Red Kyle Loesch.
Should have been 6. They had 1 run taken away from them. Interference call on a bunt that Kyle Loesch threw away.
You're umpiring all the way from here to the nation's capital.
Hey, what that iPad's for, pal.
Well, you're a big league operator.
Yeah, right. But your boy can survive.
Indeed. Down the right field line, bending foul. In between second and third already was Scott Rowland. He'll cut right across the diamond. That's a go-ahead run. Rowland there at first base. After the game-tying home run by Votto, number 32, and his 92nd run batted in.
And it seems as though every time Randy Wells hooks up with the Reds, this is the kind of game we end up in. A pitcher's duel.
Breaking ball away, 2-1 to Hannigan. Well, even though Rowland doesn't run very well, he is considered one of the game's best base runners. Hannigan might be the best hit and run batter that the Reds have in their lineup. 2-1 is generally a very good count to think about hitting and running.
Especially with a guy that gets a lot of ground balls. You got 1 out.
Well, we'll see if they're thinking about it here on 2-1. Yes. And off the glove of Wells. They'll get the out at first. And they're 2 away in the inning with Rowland in scoring position. So now the Reds looking for a 2-out hit from Drew Stubbs to give them a lead.
You're standing on the mound, and when a ball comes back to you like that, it feels like it's coming at you about 1,000 miles an hour, and you reach for it immediately, and the ball's not there yet, as you saw Wells do. Tips off of his glove, and then you're bouncing around out there like Belushi trying to find the baseball. John
or his brother Jim. You're talking about Blutarski.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I couldn't remember that name.
Later, we understand he became Senator Blutarski.
Yeah, that was in the credits after the movie.
Yeah.
Missed them.
Got the pretty girl at the end.
Yeah.
Nice. Off the end of the bat, Marlon Byrd coming in to get an inning over. But Joey Votto ties the game with home run number 32. It's 1-1 as we go to the 5th. Joey Votto to tie the game a moment ago. He's our Coors Cold Hard Blast a lot.
No doubt. 32nd home run. Let's see. I think that's another career high he's set this year.
Yeah. Everything is. Every time he makes contact. They're in the top of the 5th inning in D.C. Still the Nationals 5, Cardinals 3. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on. Bronson Arroyo, meanwhile, fanned the side in the 4th inning. And he'll go to work on Tyler Colvin, Kosuke Fukudome, and Coy Hill here in the Chicago 5th. 1 run, 2 hits for the Cubs, 1 run, 3 hits for the Reds. Colvin bounced out to Joey Votto, his first time up, back in the 2nd inning.
It's amazing that Arroyo has the moxie to throw those changeups inside to these power hitters. But it's actually, if you think about it, it's a great pitch because they're wanting to get extended, and he's throwing something soft inside. The only thing they can do with it is pull it foul. And then immediately he comes back with a fastball in there, just trying to change their vision of what the pitches may be and the speed.
Let me hear it.
Billy. Fastball, changeup. Look at that. That's how you break a leg.
Don't bring that up. There are a lot of ways to do that.
When you talk about disrupting the rhythm and the timing of a hitter, that man right there is about as good as they come at doing it. Doesn't try to throw the ball by you. He sure makes you look funny at the home plate.
2-2 to Colvin. And off the end of the bat, he hooks it into right field, a base hit. Well, for Reds batter tonight hits one of the Toyota signs, one in left center, the other in right center. Sonia Huff of Hamilton, Ohio will win the beautiful new Tundra on display every day here at Great American Ballpark. And you can register for your chance to win at an upcoming game. Just stop by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Leadoff man aboard in a 1-1 game here in the Chicago fifth. Fukudome had at least a double, perhaps a home run taken away on a leaping grab going up over the wall in right center field made by Jay Bruce, ending the second inning. We talk about it frequently that National League, American League, when they give out the gold gloves, 3 outfielders get a gold glove, and all 3 could be a center fielder, 2 could be a center fielder, 1 could be a left fielder. The bottom line is 3 guys get it and they don't go by position. Bruce is not going to get this one. And Chicago has a 3-1 lead.
Got him with the first fastball in there, but that one stayed out over the heart of the plate. And Chu really cheats to that first base side. You can see him bail out with that leg heading towards first base, and he just hooks this baby into the bullpen. Knew it when he got it.
So after the Votto home run ties the game in the bottom of the 4th inning, a single and a home run from Fukudome, and Chicago the lead right back. Off the mound, Valleca plenty of time and throws out the catcher Coy Hill, 1 out in the 5th.
That double barrel action down in the Reds bullpen.
So now the pitcher Randy Wells. He put down a sacrifice his first time up. Strike 1. Getting back to the point we were starting to make before the home run by Fukudome about gold gloves in the outfield. If they did give away position by position a gold glove, 1 to left, 1 to center, 1 to right, it's hard to believe, and we've seen everybody in the league. No, we haven't seen everybody in the league regularly. But it's hard to imagine there could be anyone more deserving of a gold glove than Jay Bruce. I'm not sure there's 3 outfielders in the league better than him at any position.
And you can't really go by assists anymore because nobody runs on Jay Bruce anymore. Once he got to the big leagues and he started throwing guys out with regularity, they quit running. Now you tell me this is not a gold glove? You can have my car.
So if I just say that, do I get your car?
No, I ain't about saying it. He's worthy of the gold glove. I'm agreeing with you.
I just thought you were throwing it out there that if somebody said it, they get your car. I'm like, I can sign me up.
Nice try.
3-2 on Wells. 1 hopper down to Roller. 2 out.
You know, very rarely do you see Arroyo go with back-to-back fastballs like that, like he did with Fukudome there. I don't think that was the pitch. I don't think that's where he was trying to go with that pitch. As he went in with the first one, and it looked like Hannigan was trying to set up in there again, and he just left it out over the plate.
Blake DeWitt twice has popped up. Once to short, the other to left. now Arroyo ahead of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You got to believe, Tom, that everybody, all the players that are sitting out there on the field of play right now, feel for that guy after giving up the 2-run home run to Fukudome. Especially when they know that regularly they're putting runs on the board time and time again.
In the air behind the plate, room for Ryan Hannigan, and that will do it.
See if they can't answer the call here.
But a 2-run home run from that man, Kosuke Fukudome, gives Chicago a 2-run lead. Our next Paycor Business Day game. Get a special $20 price for seats in our all-you-can-eat section thanks to the Business Courier. 513-381-REDS for more details or log on to Reds.com. All right, Reds now forced to play catch-up. They trailed 1-0. Votto homer to tie it. And now 2-run home run at the top of this 5th inning by Fukudome put Chicago in front by a pair.
Well, as long as Arroyo can keep it right there, the Reds have a tendency to be able to come back and put things on the board in a quick fashion.
1-1 to Paul Giannis, followed by Arroyo and then Jay Bruce.
I think this team's had more 2-out rallies than I've seen of any team in my career.
That one just eats up Aramis Ramirez, and Giannis will reach base to begin the inning.
Boy, he didn't even go after that ball after it popped off his chest. That must have caught the collarbone. Sinker ball, a lot of topspin pulled on that ball. I couldn't tell if it got him there or not, but it sure did come up. Looked like it just hit him in the chest. Usually you knock that down and you go right back after it and pick it up and throw it to first, but maybe not in that instance, I guess.
Bronson Arroyo, 5 sacrifices on the year, has a home run and 7 runs batted in. Already squaring around a bunt. And pulls the bat away. It's a strike.
And all Arroyo needs to do here is just bunt the ball to Nady. Because Nady's not going to turn to make a play at second. He's just going to turn and throw the ball to first.
Well, while the Cubs were scoring 2 runs in the top of the 5th, the Cardinals did the same thing. So that game is tied at 5. Running out in front of the plate, and they're going to go to second. And they'll get the out there. So just too close to the plate and an easy play for Coy Hill.
Coy Hill may have come into the ballgame hitting 200, but this kid's got a cannon behind the plate, and it's usually right on the money. And as you see there, he bounced out behind the home plate and got that ball in a hurry.
All right, now Jay Bruce.
Reds fans, for great food with family and friends this summer, think JTN. Food, family, and fun. JTN. About a 2-run jack right here.
Sounds good. A walk and a single so far tonight for Jay. Found out a play. Sounded like he may have broken his back. Apparently not.
Randy Wells has thrown the ball awfully good. And it seems like, Tom, we're in this position every time against this kid. Playing catch up late in the ball game because he's staying ahead. Only thing about Wells is he has not pitched deep into the ball game a whole lot lately. And you can already see the fatigue after each pitch with him blowing that air and taking those deep breaths.
Off the outside corner, 2-1 to Jay Bruce. It's a warm night tonight. It's not a hot night. It's certainly not a muggy night. But temperatures still in the low 80s. Took a little off there, and Bruce way out in front to even the count of 2-2.
That's the best thing about throwing a sinker is as you get some fatigue going later in the ball game, the ball tends to dip even more.
It did so again right there. Jay chased it, fouled it off, and still 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 on and 1 out. Reds down by 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Chris Valleca will be next.
Sometimes for Wells, I think he just spreads his fingers a little bit wider on the baseball, and instead of getting both fingers behind it with that good velocity, he just takes a little bit off by spreading his fingers wide. As you can see, he doesn't want to give Jay anything good to hit.
Three balls, 2 strikes to Jay Bruce. Bronson Arroyo, the runner at first with 1 out. Wells a check in the runner, and now the pitch. Struck him out. That's a good 3-2 pitch right there.
Slider started in and cut right in off the plate. Everything going away from Jay until the last pitch of the at-bat. Breaking ball, he starts it on the corner. He figures, well, I'm either going to walk him or he's going to swing and strike out, and he gets the best there. He gets the strikeout.
It's the first time in the first 2 games of this series Bruce has been retired as the leadoff batter. Drew a walk, hit 3 home runs last night, and a walk and a single his first 2 times up tonight. Now it's Chris Valleca. They'd love to see Votto get a chance with a couple of guys on, or at least 1 on here in this bottom of the 5th inning. He stands on deck. But Wells jumps in front of Valleca at 0-2.
Well, that was a good pitch to hit right there. A hanging breaking ball up and out over the plate. Valleca looked like he just pulled off of it just a bit at the end.
Valleca digging in behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Wells has fanned 3s, walked a pair. Struck him out. And the throw down to first will officially end the inning. So an error, a man left. We played 5, and Chicago in front, 3-1.
On to the 6th inning here on Fox Sports Ohio. Reds and Cubs. Jim Day back with you, and there's no question who the MVP of this team is. It's Joey Votto. In fact, he's my vote for MVP of the league. But this has been a team for the Cincinnati Reds this year. It's the reason why they're in first place, because of some of the super subs. So we want to know, who gets your vote for most valuable super sub? Is it Miguel Cairo, filled in so admirably for Scott Rowland when he was out? Paul Janish filling in right now for Orlando Cabrera. And Chris Heisey has played well enough to warrant people wanting him to play more. So who gets your vote? Text 1, 2, or 3 to 37664. 37664, standard text message rates apply. Well, the results coming up. All three guys have been very valuable to this team.
There's very little doubt about that, Jim Day, and there's no way the Reds would be sitting 4 games in front of the National League Central without any of those 3. We begin the top of the 6th inning. Starlin Castro pops it up and just beyond the reach of Brian Hannigan.
Almost took out our camera girl. Amy Bailey almost got hammered right there.
Amy, you got to make a play there. I mean, that was out of Hannigan's reach.
Look out!
You know what? I don't blame her. I'll never get on anybody for not trying to catch a foul ball. Here it is. That's her camera. The X mode.
She's shooting the armpit outstanding with the chest protector shot. That would have worked out good on the giveaway, you know what?
It would have. We got to save that shot.
Well, Cairo has filled in a couple of different positions, both at third, some at short, some at second, some at first. Giannis has probably played the most, I would say, at shortstop. And Heisey has probably hit the ball the furthest of the 3.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 to Castro. And Bronson Arroyo just wearing him out tonight. Adam Dunn has just blasted a 3-run home run, giving Washington an 8-5 lead over the Cardinals.
I think that anytime that you have a championship caliber ball club, you're not only going to use the 25 guys that you have on your opening day roster, but I think you're going to have 9 guys that some way, fashion, or form will add to that roster as the season goes on. So you're looking at 34 or 35 guys that really are going to contribute towards a championship, hence a 40-man roster. Bronson Arroyo has just got to continue to keep the Cubs right where they're at.
Two and one account on Marlon Byrd. One hopper down to Rowland. And there are 2 away in the inning. You know, some of you probably know, you've seen the commercials that I've been honored to do for our friends over at SPCA here in Cincinnati. And, you know, some people are dog people, some people are cat people. Well, you know, in every shelter all across the country, there are hundreds of thousands, millions really, from coast to coast of cats compared to dogs that are in those shelters. And over at SPCA today, they were trying to find almost 300 cats a new home. Well, today, 235 adoptions took place here in Cincinnati alone. 235. 198 adult cats, 28 kittens, 9 dogs. So thanks to so many of you who are giving those animals a much needed and well-deserved home. And thanks to all the folks at SPCA. They do a great job in our community.
How many did you say?
235. They had a special adoption this weekend, waiving all the fees.
That's pretty cool.
They have an entire veterinary staff. It's been very busy spaying and neutering the cats. So when people will come in, they make sure that that's all taken care of. And And thank God so many of those animals are going home to a better place today and tomorrow. But there are a lot more every day, so you don't feel like all of a sudden you missed out. You can go by there tomorrow, and there'll be plenty that you will fall in love with. I can promise you that. 0-2 on Aramis Ramirez. Way out in front, lifts a fly ball to Gomes and left, and Arroyo keeping him right there. Let's see if the offense can do something about it. Prado rolling, Gomes coming up, down 3-1. Time for the Coors Light freeze can. Contact by Fukudome. Jay Bruce says no. That is the Coors Light freeze can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, Jay Bruce robbed him of one, but he couldn't rob him of the second. And hopefully the Reds can make that up and start right here and right now. Can you dance?
Not bad. I mean, I'm not a guy that can do the moonwalk, and all that kind of stuff. But I have rhythm. How about you? I have good rhythm, in fact. I'm not afraid to admit that.
I can dance. I don't know if I look good or not doing it, but I'm not afraid to get out there.
You know what? That's 90% of the battle.
That's what I look at.
Well, they're going to retire Joey Votto to begin the inning, and here we are yet again. We brought it up before, this Randy Wells. I mean, he's only made the one mistake tonight, the home run by Votto back in the fourth inning. You can be a part of the CBTS Marty Brennaman Golf Classic coming up September 12th and 13th out at Belterra Casino Resort and Spa. It's a great event, 2 days, hosted by the Hall of Famer. There'll be celebrity guests out there, a concert, a dinner hosted by Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And proceeds, all of them, benefit the Reds Community Fund. Find out more at Reds.com/MartyGolf.
There's our folks right there.
The Fialas enjoying the ball game down at the diamond seats. Thanks to the folks at Fox Sports Ohio tonight. And we thank them for coming up to see us. You'll be playing in that Marty Brennaman Golf Classic again.
I have to work.
Ooh. A hot smash down the left field line by Rowland. And he'll pull in with a double.
Rowland laid off the earlier breaking ball, and Randy Wells comes right back with it. He leaves that one over the plate just enough for Rowland to hook it down the line.
Well, here comes a guy the Reds really need to get going again. I mean, for the better part of about 2 months, he was as hot as any hitter in the league. And for the last 2 months, he's been about as cold as any hitter in the league.
Well, when he was hot, he was hitting the ball into the right center field gap the majority of the time, over the second baseman, and that's what kept him on the ball and allowed him to catch some of those hanging breaking balls and hit them out of the ballpark.
But seemingly every at-bat here for the better part of a couple of months, it looks like a home run swing on virtually every swing.
Front shoulder coming out, hips opening up too early. And what that does is it makes the bat drag. And when the bat drags, it makes you hit the ball straight up in the air. And you see a lot of infield pop-ups lately.
Reds down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a base hit by Johnny. They are going to hold Roland at third base. So they're on the corners now for Ryan Hannigan.
That is a totally different swing than what we've seen from Gomes lately. I think he's starting to get back into that groove. Watch him keep this shoulder straight closed when he gets back to the plate. He stands with that open stance with his front foot facing third base, and if you don't get it closed and get that front shoulder closed, you're going to stay open the whole time. Then you're going to fly. Bat slows down, pop up. There, he got closed, got on top of the ball, smoked it up the box.
Mighty impressive numbers this year for Ryan Hannigan in these situations. They're on the corners with one out. Hannigan is singled to right and bounced out to the mound. Strike one.
Randy Wells looking for a double play ball. Hannigan looking for a base hit. Reds just trying to string at bats together. Good at bat after another.
0-1 on Ryan Hannigan. Fastball away.
Bill Bray warming up for the Reds in the bullpen. Toughest thing here for Hannigan is just to be patient and get a good pitch to hit.
Hannigan now behind at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So many come from behind wins. It's been a big reason why the Reds are where they are. They're third in the major leagues with 36 come from behind victories. The Yankees the most with 40, Atlanta with 39.
They don't quit.
25 of the 36 came before July the 1st. You're not going to make a living trying to do it in the course of an entire year.
No, but if you can do it early, you start believing in yourself as a team.
Base hit left field. It's a 1-run game. Hannigan delivers yet again. He has been money in the bank with runners on base. And that was a major league problem for a young man who otherwise had a very good offensive year last year.
That is now his 33rd RBI, tripling his total from last year. And it's really about locking down and deciding that you're going to hit the ball up the middle. You're going to wait and get you a pitch that you can hit and not panic when you get 2 strikes. Putting a good at bat together. And that's what the Reds have done over and over again. That's why you see so many 2-out rallies. You see rallies where 7 and 8 and 9 hits are coming together. And they do it just because it's concentration and not panic.
Wells tried to catch Johnny Gomes napping out there at second base. Johnny able to get back, and now a visit to the mound by Larry Rothschild as the Cubs have activity for the first time tonight in their bullpen. They have hard-throwing Andrew Cashner, the right-hander.
James Russell on the left side.
Yep.
And this is Rothschild's job here. One thing that he's doing is trying to calm down his right-hander to see if he can get a ground ball double play here with Stubbs at the plate. On the flip side, he wants to make sure that he gives his guys in the bullpen time to get ready. As Wells is knocking at the door out of 100 pitches, and for him, it's about time to say goodnight.
Bruce Stubbs with 2 on and 1 out. Looks at a breaking ball away, ball 1. Johnny Gomes a tying run out at second base. A go-ahead run is Ryan Hannigan at first. 3 straight hits after Votto was retired to begin the inning. Lazy pop fly into right field. Two outs in the inning.
Had Stubbs reaching for the breaking ball. Tom, you were talking about the catchers putting together such a phenomenal season this year. There are the numbers for you in black and white. 74 RBIs between the two, 10 home runs, and you combine the averages, they're right around that 290, 288 mark. And then you throw in the numbers from Corky Miller when he was here, and it only adds to those numbers there. And now you got 2 fresh catchers instead of 1 tired catcher here in the month of September.
Now Paul Yanish with 2 on and 2 out. Reds have scored a run. They're still down a run, and that will end the inning. Boy, that was rather easy. After running into trouble, he took care of Stubbs and Yanish on 3 pitches. A 1-run game. We go to the 7th. Sports Ohio brought to you in part by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. By your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. Visit mycincinnatihondadealer.com. And by Hollywood Casino. More action, more excitement. Get to Hollywood Casino, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Nighttime fully upon us in the Queen City. Cincinnati, Ohio, a 3-2 game with the Cubs in front of the Reds. Bronson Arroyo out there for what figures to be his final inning of work. His spot due to lead off the bottom of the inning. Xavier Nady, Tyler Coleman, and Kosuke Fukudome here in the inning. And those are the 3 that have done all the damage tonight. Fly ball to left, 1 pitch, 1 out.
How about that swing? Xavier Nady sat down in the batter's box as he hit the ball all the way out to left field. Breaking ball starts at him, and he gets fooled and just kind of sits down in the batter's box. And he hit the ball all the way to almost to the warning track. Have a seat.
Say this trio has done all the damage. Nady hit the home run in the 2nd inning. And then in their other scoring inning in the 5th, Colvin had a single. And Fugudome, who stands on deck, hit a 2-run home run.
What these left-handers have done to Arroyo is they get into the batter's box and they decide they're going to hook the ball wherever the pitch is. That's why they've been trying to go in early in the count. Soft in, hard away, that makes it much more difficult to hook the baseball. If you go soft in, if you try to hook it, you're going to hit it in the first base dugout.
High and deep into right center field. Bruce drifting back to the warning track at the wall, and he has room. 2 are out in the inning.
That was awfully fortunate for Arroyo and the Reds there. That was a hanging breaking ball, belt high, and Tyler Colvin missed that. I don't know how. That ball's supposed to be way inside, and look where it ends up. Heart of the dish. He just got under.
2 away now for Fugudome, who could easily have a pair of home runs tonight. Bruce made the leaping catch up over the wall on Fukudome's drive to right center in the 2nd inning, and then Fugudome homered to the bullpen area in the 5th. The Cub bullpen area down the right field line.
Well, it would not hurt my feelings if he walked the guy right here. And he's hit 2 balls tonight that, like you said, both could be out of the ballpark.
One on Fugudome. Where did that miss? It's called ball 2. Saw Brandon Phillips before the game today in the bright sunshine out there getting some road work in. Cowboy doing a lot of running, trying to stay in tip-top shape while that right hand of his continues to recover after being drilled in San Francisco on Wednesday, and you see it there taped up.
He's got that compression sleeve on that hand, trying to ease that swelling out. And the biggest thing about the running is not only does it keep your legs in shape, as you can see him working that, looks like Play-Doh in his hands. It's the type of material that you just continue to squeeze over and over it again to get that blood flowing in that hand, and that's one of the reasons he was doing the running today. The more you run, the more blood flow you get, and you get a lot of that swelling to get out of that hand.
3-2 pitch. And a base hit up the middle by Fugudome. This guy looks like King Kong tonight here against Bronson Arroyo.
Well, he just bails out with that front side, and anything that stays over the plate, he catches on the fat part of the bat. And unless you've really got an upper end fastball, which Arroyo doesn't possess, it's tough to get in on a guy like Fugudome because he steps in the bucket so much. Bucket being towards first base. This is the guy you got to get out, Tom. Coy Hill coming into the ball game hitting 200. You got to put him in the book.
Hill 1 of 2 at a single into left field in the 3rd inning, and then grounded out to Vallejo back in the 5th. Reds down 3-2. We're in the 7th. Fugudome at first, and 2 are out. Strike 1. Reds have 3 more cracks at him. There continues to be activity in the Chicago bullpen. Randy Wells is standing in the on-deck circle, but if his spot comes up in this inning, there's no way he will bat. You got to wonder if they'll send him to the mound, period, for the bottom of the 7th.
That's what I was going to say. I think he's nothing more than window dressing right now.
Arroyo ahead 0-2. The Reds have action in their bullpen. Left-hander was up a short while ago. Continues to throw Bill Bray, and he's joined by the right-hander Nick Massett. 0-2 on Coy Hill. Chicago, a home run from Xavier Nady in the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. Joey Votto homered, number 32 on the year, to tie in the fourth. Fukudome, a 2-run home run in the fifth. And the Reds got a run-scoring single by Hannigan in the sixth. 3-2 here in the seventh. Runner goes. They pitch out. And a throw down. One hop played nicely by Giannis to cut down Fukudome. They stand and stretch at Great American Ballpark. A sellout crowd hoping for a Reds rally tonight down a run.
To get it done, Bronson Arroyo. And tonight he has gotten it done. Except for two pitches that left the ballpark. One by Nady and one by that man, Kosuke Fukudome. Other than that, he has been right on the money. Not a walk in sight. And as we suspected, Tom, Randy Wells, nothing but window dressing. He's not even going to throw a pitch here in the seventh.
Well, once a pinch hitter Juan Francisco was announced, a Skyline Chili call to the bullpen made to summon left-hander James Russell. We'll be back. MLB.com's at Bat 2010. You can purchase today at Reds.com.
24-year-old left-hander James Russell is on the mound to start here the 7th inning. Russell in his second stint with the Cubs here in 2010. Biggest number for that young man is the fact that he's only walked 10 batters thus far in the ball games he's pitched. That helps you stay around.
Young Red slugger Juan Francisco just brought back up from the minor leagues yesterday. 3rd time he's been up with a major league club. And quickly behind is Francisco at 0-2. Well, Bronson Arroyo, 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, did not walk a batter, struck out 5. And Francisco gone on 3 pitches. 1 out.
2 breaking balls early in the count. 1 taken, 1 swung out, and then the fastball up and out of the strike zone. That's a tough job coming off the bench to pinch hit, much less lefty on lefty.
And now another lefty on lefty, although Jay Bruce, who has struggled a lot against left-handed pitching through his very young career. He had home runs in 3 straight at-bats against left-handers last night. Behind here, however, 0-2. The numbers have gotten better. Forget the 3 home runs last night, but the average numbers have gotten better this year for Bruce.
Well, I think a lot of it for Jay is confidence, as is with a lot of hitting anyway. Those 3 home runs last night can't hurt at all. I mean, if you go to the plate and you think you're going to have a hard time, or you have any doubt at all that you can make solid contact against a pitcher, where you're already beaten before you get there.
1-2 on Bruce. Breaking ball laid off that one. That's a pitch we've seen him chase frequently.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you hit home runs off of good left-handed pitching, and that was good left-handed pitching yesterday, just adds to your confidence and allows you to have a better at bat. And he goes from 0-2 to 3-2 there. You have to wonder with Russell, is he going to throw him a breaking ball here and try to strike him out? Or is he going to take a risk of walking him? Or is he going to throw him a fastball?
We're about to find out.
Yes, we will. Breaking ball.
And he strikes him out.
Two left-handers in a row, and this is why James Russell is in the ball game. This breaking ball, he starts inside, right at the front hip of the left-handed batter Bruce, and the ball breaks down and out of the strike zone, and Jay swung right over the top of it.
Now Vallejo, Reds down a run with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 7th, a 3-2 game. Vallejo for 3 tonight.
And you may wonder, well, why in the world did Juan Francisco hit in that situation against the left-hander? Well, Francisco in the minor leagues has hit home runs, whether it's been lefty or righty or whether they kicked it up there.
Broken bat flare into shallow center. It'll fall to hit. So Joey Votto will bat against James Russell, representing a go-ahead run with 2 outs and a man aboard.
A great at bat by Vallejo. And now this will test the moxie of the young left-hander James Russell.
6 home runs for Votto against left-handed pitching this season and nearly a .300 average. Ran a fastball in on his hands, and he drops it foul out of play. Strike one to Joey.
And as the game goes on, the tougher the situations get. I think this is where you see the best out of Votto. He really stays inside the ball to guard against the breaking ball so he doesn't swing at a bad pitch. He looks to drive the ball into that left center field gap.
0-1 to Joey Votto. Russell a look and comes to the plate, low and outside, 1-1.
Look at those eyes. He hadn't taken his eyes off of James Russell since he took the last pitch. That's what I was talking about earlier. The later it gets, the better he gets. They call that clutch.
Russell was walking to the dugout. He thought it was strike 3.
This ball just misses inside as the fastball did earlier.
But it's good pitch.
It's pitcher's pitch, not a hitter's pitch. But that is where umpire Gibson, Greg Gibson, has been all night.
2-2 now to Votto. Nowhere near with that fastball. All right, Cowboy. Back-to-back fastballs. He's trying to come in on it. He threw Jay Bruce a 3-2 breaking ball to strike him out.
That's what he's going to throw right here.
You allowed to hang those?
Well, if he throws a good one, it's a strike. Joey could hit it out.
But you're allowed to hang.
You're allowed to hang him. Slider's the call.
Payoff pitch coming. And it's low. But they ring him up on the appeal to third. Wow. Scott Berry said Votto went too far. You be the judge. Wow, that's hard to believe. That call stinks. That's why Cowboy asked me a little while ago if I could dance. When you watch this guy, you realize you really can't. Chris Welsh and I don't look anything like that guy. But we have good rhythm.
What were you doing right there?
An Irish jig.
That's not the dancing I was talking about.
That's when we have the...
Tom, I was not talking about that kind of dance.
Irish-American night. Of course, you know, Chris Welsh of Irish descent, he wanted to do a little Irish dance up here, and so I thought, why not?
I thought Welsh was Scottish.
I think he's an Irish guy. I think. Pretty sure. All right, Nick Massett takes over on the mound now for Bronson Arroyo. Bronson cannot win it. He is a pitcher of record from a losing standpoint, but of course the Reds are hoping they can rally. They're down 1.
Well, this is where your bullpen has got to keep the Cubs off the board.
Boy, Hill was a batter when Fukudome was thrown out trying to steal second base ending the 7th inning. So it'll be Hill. It looks like Alfonso Soriano in the on-deck circle to bat for Russell. And then back to the top of the order to Blake DeWitt.
Well, as tight as Gibson has been behind the plate, to get that kind of call on Votto, a little disappointing.
Well, it's a third base umpire on that appeal. I mean, look, you know when a guy goes around, and we'll admit it if a Reds player goes around and would have said, hey, that's a good call. Joey Votto did not go around, did not bring the bat through the strike zone. You hear people talk about breaking the wrist and all that stuff. Did the bat go through the strike zone, through the plate?
You know, that call there is one of those judgment calls in the eyes of the umpire. Some umpires have different thought process. Some go by the hands. Some go by the bat head. If you go by the hands, yeah, his hands pass the plate. But your hands can pass the plate anytime. Well, that's some money pitches right there. That's 2 in a row, right back to back. Pitchers, pitches.
Our old buddy and a diehard Reds fan, Kirk Herbstreit, watching the game tonight. You were giving me heat about that dance. He said I looked like Lawrence Welk dancing next to Chris Welsh here a moment ago. There's strike 3, and Hannigan fires down to Joey Votto. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nick Massett here in the 8th.
A 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2.
Very nice.
When I was asking you about dancing earlier.
No, I can't dance. That's not
I was
how
talking
I would normally
about
dance.
Square dancing.
Oh, no.
Not that kind of dance.
No, I can't square dance.
Anybody can square dance.
I suppose if you learn how to do it, you're right.
You just follow the call.
Yep.
Do-si-do, Alabama. The promenade in and the promenade out. That's how you do it. It's not that hard.
Tell you what, going to break, I want to hear a little more of that.
All right.
2 outs, nobody on. I know I can't dance right now.
Speaking of dancing, Massett's ball is dancing right now around that strike zone.
No question. He is on a real good run right now. Much like he did the entire year last year.
It's a good time to be there.
Now, my question to you is, Cowboy, about Nick Massett. His all-speed stuff has been so good and so dominant. Is he getting away from the fastball?
I don't think so. I think that the issue for him is he's throwing more fastballs for strikes instead of trying to throw that slider early in the count that he was in his previous time earlier in the season.
Well, he threw a 95-mile-per-hour fastball right there, and DeWitt jumped all over the base hit in the right field.
This ball here, he wants away, and it gets up on him, and that's why DeWitt is able to make the contact. If that ball's down, he gets a pop-up.
Starlin Castro, the batter, with 2 outs, and DeWitt at first. Chicago with a 1-run lead. We're in the 8th inning. Strike 1.
That's the pitch right there that puts the batter in the hole right off the bat. If you can locate your fastball down and away from the hitter on the first pitch like that, very few hitters are going to even take a swat at that. Now the object is to make a secondary pitch that you can get ahead 0-2. McGann.
Oh, yeah.
When you can throw a pitch that knocks the hitter's helmet off, you know you got something working.
It's well put. Oh, and 2 to Castro. Throw sending DeWitt back to the bag. The Reds in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Roland, Gomes, and Hannigan due up against a new Cub pitcher. 0-2 now to Castro. Runner goes. Check swing and a miss. That's strike 3 by Castro. He'll go back to short. Cowboy to wake the Reds bats up like you're trying to get them going. Let's hear it.
Bow to your partner. Bow to your corner. Do-si-do your partner. And promenade. Promenade in and a promenade out. Promenade.
We'll present the See and Watch Inside Bearcats football preview tomorrow night, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Fox Sports Ohio. Presented by Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. The back-to-back Big East champion Cincinnati Bearcats under their new head man, Butch Jones. Well, I'm excited about Butch Jones.
Well, they've won it back-to-back, haven't they?
Under Brian Kelly, who, of course, will start his new job at Notre Dame next weekend, I believe, against Purdue. Andrew Cashner, hard-throwing rookie right-hander Andrew Cashner, takes over on the mound.
1-5 on the year. You see the ERA, 6.21. Don't let that fool you now. This kid can reach back and bring it.
First pitch swinging, and that's an easy out. to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Rowland retired. Three runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base for Chicago. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 7 left for the Reds. Here's Johnny Gomes.
Smooth 97. That ball hops out of this kid's hand.
Ground ball down to Ramirez. And just like that, 3 pitches and 2 men out for Cashner here in the 8th.
Cashner's gotten better and better as the season has gone on. And a lot of it is just about confidence, throwing strikes, and believing that you belong up here.
Ryan Hannigan 2 for 3 tonight, knocked in a run in the 6th inning with a single to left. He has 4 home runs this year. Strike 1.
Add 6 miles an hour to that, and turning on the other side, and that's Aroldis Chapman.
For those of you that have no idea what Jeff is talking about, Aroldis Chapman clocked last night more than once at 105 miles an hour on a radar gun.
14 pitches, struck out the side, 11 pitches for strikes. 9 over 100.
Broken bat goes flying into the stands, and hopefully everybody's all right. It appears as though they are. Thank God for that. A bounce on the dugout and then 4 rows into the seats, and I think the bat was caught before it could hit anybody.
Thank goodness. Watch how this bat separates. I think this is a maple bat. They're the ones that do this. Not only does the bat break, but watch the big end of the bat. Now that's the part that you're looking at. A missile coming into the seats. Pay attention. Look at all those little kids over there.
He broke another bat. And that was a very easy 8th for Cashner. 8 pitches setting aside in order. We go to the 9th, still a 1-run Chicago lead.
Sports Ohio breaks down the action with most comprehensive highlights and exclusive interviews with the players and Dusty Baker before anyone else. That's Reds Live, brought to you by Kings Honda in the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com. But it looks like Massett will stay on and try to keep the Cubs at bay for one last chance at a bottom of the ninth comeback. Boy, down by one, you would think the Reds could pull this baby out.
So Massett on for his second inning, and there's a bouncer over the mound by Bird. He's going hard. Giannis a throw picked out of the dirt, and they get the out on Bird. Nicely done by Giannis and Votto.
That's why this defense has been either first or second predominantly the whole year long. Look at Giannis position himself not only to catch the ball, but to catch it and throw it from where he catches the ball, and that's down low, knowing that Marlon Byrd hustling all the way. You catch it and you throw it from down low. That is a big league play.
And he is a big league defender. Swing and a miss by Aramis Ramirez, 0-1. Final game of the series is an afternoon tilt, and there are tickets available tomorrow, by the way. 1:10 first pitch. Left-hander Travis Wood against Casey Coleman. We'll see how Travis bounces back really from his first poor start in the major leagues. That outing in San Francisco. That's in the air to Votto, and there are 2 outs in the inning. And knowing what we know from Travis Wood, I think there's very little doubt he'll bounce back just fine. Will you agree?
He's had every outing that he's had has been spot on. And I don't care how good you are in the big leagues, somebody's going to humble you along the line. It's not going to be perfect every day. And even in that ball game, he didn't pitch bad. They just got some hits.
All right, 2 outs in the inning for Xavier Nady. Strike 1. Got to be careful, this guy. He has swung the bat very well the first 2 games of the series, including a home run back in the second inning tonight. And a short hop on the second hop played by Giannis, and that'll end the inning. All right, here we go. Stubbs, Giannis, and a pinch hitter coming up against Carlos Marmol from the bullpen. By PerformanceHondaStore.com. We'll put a smile on your face. Every customer, every vehicle, every day. By Quick Read. Visit QuickRead.com. Quick Read, it's what America is made of. By Jeep, I live, I ride, I am Jeep. And by Cincinnati Children's in the top 10 for all selected pediatric specialties in U.S. News and World Report's 2010 Best Children's Hospitals. Well, since no Reds players hit the sign so far to win a Toyota Tundra, your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers are donating the truck to a local fire department Saturday, September 11th. 8 local fire departments will join Dusty Baker for the ceremonies before the Reds game, where one crew will be awarded the Tundra, compliments of your local Toyota dealers. Carlos Marmol, their closer. And Drew Stubbs' first pitch swinging pops it up. Marmol, the best strikeout pitcher among all National League closers. He's also the wildest pitcher among all National League closers. Boy, and you are doing him a major league favor, first pitch hacking. One away in the inning.
He's one of those guys you almost want to just sit there and take and see what he's got. Because he could hit the backstop just as good as he could hit the mitt.
Ball 1 to Paul Giannis. Ramon Hernandez stands in the on-deck circle. In their strike. Marmol leads all major league relief pitchers, 108 strikeouts this year. That's 22 more than the next closest competitor, Tyler Clippard of Washington. Fastball, strike 2.
It's pretty close to the all-time strikeouts per 9 innings percentage record in the major leagues.
Check swing, they appeal. He did not go around. 2-2. Yeah, he is a strikeout machine, but there are a lot of games in the course of the year, and we've seen him enough to know
he'll walk a run in.
Absolutely. Won't give up a hit, and he'll walk 5 guys in an inning.
And I'm talking get to 2 outs and walk 4 guys in a row.
Giannis able to foul it off to stay alive, but make no mistake about it, Marmol has turned into a pretty doggone good closer. He's only blown 5 all year, 23 out of 28.
He is what you would term effectively wild.
There's that slider, and the Reds are down to their final out.
Instead of taking a left turn, this baby goes straight down. And when you throw the ball 96 miles an hour, you can't lay off that. Ball starts right here and goes straight down. How do you like that?
Not much. So now Ramon Hernandez to bat for Nick Massett. 2 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball for Nick. Slider, strike 1. Couple of 100 Cub fans probably in attendance tonight. Standing and cheering, making a little noise. 1-1. Next would be Jay Bruce, a left-handed batter against Marmol. Hernandez trying to keep this inning alive and give Bruce a chance to win it. Popped up down the right field line, and just ought to do it in foul ground. That was very easy in the 9th inning for Marmol. And for only the 4th time this entire year in 15 games, the Cubs have beaten the Reds 3-2 the final.
Randy Wells pitched a heck of a ball game, man. You go through the Reds offense and you keep them at 2 runs, you've done a heck of a job. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat.
Indeed you do. So the final count 3-2. The Cardinals are trailing big against Washington, so it figures unless they have a major comeback, the spread will remain at 4 with the Reds in front in the National League Central Division.